Hello everyone, welcome back to another deeply personal and emotional story on Whispers of Deceit. Today, I'm sharing a true and very intimate tale titled My Nephew Caught Me Playing with Myself, a story that explores vulnerability, unexpected feelings, loneliness in marriage, and the difficult lines we must draw even when emotions run high. Lauren had always been the reliable one in the family, the caring sister, the devoted wife, and now, the helpful aunt. When her brother and sister-in-law asked if she could babysit their 18-year-old son Ryan for the weekend while they went on a short trip, she didn't hesitate. "Of course," she said with a warm smile. "Ryan and I always get along well." The first day passed pleasantly. They watched movies together, ordered pizza, and talked about school, friends, and life in general. Ryan was polite, funny, and easy to be around, a typical teenager on the edge of adulthood. Lauren felt relaxed and happy to help. The next morning, Ryan left early to meet some friends. The house grew quiet. Lauren's husband Mark was away on yet another long business trip, and the emptiness felt heavier than usual. Their marriage had been strained for months. Mark was always buried in work, distant, and emotionally unavailable. Lauren tried to push those thoughts aside, but the loneliness crept in. She retreated to the bedroom to unwind. The door was left slightly ajar. She thought she was completely alone. In that private moment, she allowed herself to release some of the built-up tension. She began touching herself, seeking a moment of personal relief and pleasure in the quiet house. What she didn't know was that Ryan had forgotten his keys and returned home much earlier than expected. He walked in quietly, heading toward his room, when he passed the slightly open bedroom door. The sight stopped him in his tracks. There was Lauren, lost in her intimate moment. Shock hit both of them instantly. Lauren's eyes flew open. She gasped, quickly pulling the sheets over herself, her face burning with embarrassment. "Ryan." "Oh my God, knock next time," she stammered, her voice shaky. Ryan stood frozen for a second, his cheeks flushed red. "I'm so sorry, Aunt Lauren." "I didn't mean to. I forgot my keys." He turned away immediately and left the room, closing the door behind him. The rest of that day became painfully awkward. They avoided eye contact. Conversations were short and tense. The air in the house felt thick with unspoken discomfort. Lauren kept replaying the moment in her mind, mortified and worried about how this would affect their relationship. That evening, she decided she had to address it. She found Ryan in the living room and sat down carefully. "Ryan, about what happened earlier today," she began softly. "Can we please just forget it ever happened? It was a private moment, and I'm really embarrassed. Let's move on and keep things normal, okay?" Ryan nodded quickly, looking down. "Yeah, of course. I'm sorry again." But something in his expression had changed. There was a new intensity in his eyes, a lingering glance that hadn't been there before. Over the next few days, the atmosphere shifted subtly. Ryan started seeking her out more often. He would offer to help with chores, sit closer during meals, and make small, gentle touches, a hand on her shoulder that lasted a second longer than necessary, or a warm smile that carried unspoken meaning. Lauren noticed it all, and it made her both nervous and strangely aware of her own unmet emotional needs. One quiet evening after dinner, while they were cleaning up in the kitchen, Ryan suddenly stopped and looked at her seriously. "Aunt Lauren." "I can't stop thinking about what I saw," he confessed, his voice low and honest. "It's not just embarrassment anymore. I feel something more, something deeper than just family affection. I know it's wrong, but I can't help it." Lauren was stunned. Her heart raced. She stepped back gently and reminded him firmly. "Ryan, you are my nephew. This is not okay. We have to set clear boundaries right now. What happened was an accident, and we cannot let it turn into anything else. I'm married, and you're family. Let's not complicate things." Ryan looked hurt but nodded in understanding. Yet the tension between them didn't fully disappear. It simmered quietly. In the days that followed, Lauren opened up more about her own struggles. She admitted to herself, and indirectly to Ryan, that her marriage to Mark had grown cold. Mark was consumed by work, rarely present emotionally, leaving her feeling unseen and unfulfilled. Ryan's attention, though inappropriate in nature, filled a void she hadn't fully acknowledged. One night, when Mark was away on another business trip, Ryan came over again under the pretense of checking on her. He sat with her and said softly, "You deserve to feel happy and desired, Aunt Lauren. I see how unhappy you've been." Lauren felt torn. Part of her was touched by his words, but another part knew this path was dangerous. She took a deep breath and told him, "Ryan, I appreciate your concern, but I need to focus on repairing my marriage. This, whatever this is, cannot go further. We must respect each other and the family." After some difficult conversations, they both agreed to maintain their bond as aunt and nephew without crossing any forbidden lines. They acknowledged the complexity of the emotions, the vulnerability, the loneliness, the unexpected attraction, but chose to honor boundaries and family values. In the end, Lauren and Mark attempted a weekend getaway to reconnect, but the spark wasn't fully there. Still, Lauren returned home more determined than ever to work on her marriage. Ryan kept his distance respectfully, though the memory of that weekend lingered as a quiet reminder of human vulnerability. This story shows how easily emotional voids can create complicated situations, even within family. It reminds us that feelings can arise unexpectedly, but true strength lies in recognizing boundaries, communicating honestly, and choosing what is right over what feels tempting in the moment. Thank you so much for watching this emotional and honest story. If it made you think or touched you in any way, please like the video, share your respectful thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real-life-inspired tales. Remember, we all have moments of weakness, but how we handle them defines us. Take care, and see you in the next video.